herself because she hated her fucking name. So yeah, I dodged the bullet on that one, guys. Like literally, I'm so good at dodging bullets, they call me like the Donald Trump of dodging bullets. Like, oh, you just missed. Yeah, it's like if RFK and Abe Lincoln were good at dodging bullets, they'd still be here with us. Yeah, but you know, speaking of dodging bullets, so my dad is also a K name, he's a Cannon with a K, and he's exactly what you think. He's like a right-wing, gun-toting, shoe-spitting guy. I remember when Joe Biden got elected, it's like, man, Joe Biden's gonna come and take my AR-15. It's like, Dad, Joe Biden's not real. It's like, is he in the room here with you right now? You can't take your guns, dude. I'll never forget when he told me on my 18th birthday. He's like, son, you're 18 now. Here's $20 to buy me some chew. All right, Dad, I'm gonna chew. We all boozing tonight? Drinking a little bit? Yeah, me too. I was talking to a buddy the other day. I was thinking, like, man, I think I gotta stop drinking. He was telling me how he drinks like 8 beers a night, gets all sad, uses it as a depressant. I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I drink 8 beers a night, but I've been mostly using it as nutrients at this point. It's like 3 triple IPAs, it's like 10,000 calories or whatever. I like to say I'm like getting swole, but not like swole jacked, but like a swollen, like a beach whale. I don't know if you guys can tell by looking at me, I got a body built by IPAs and Taco Bell. Somebody was like, hey, come over and hang out, you know, we're gonna be drinking. I was like, I can't tonight, I'm drinking with the boys. I don't have any friends that I call the boys, that's just what I call my left and right hand. So it doesn't seem like I'm drinking alone. Like I said, a little bit of a booze bag, so sometimes I gotta go pee outside, and I'm always afraid like I'm gonna get busted. It's like, that'd be a terrible way to get on the sex offenders list. It's like, yep, officer, that's the guy right over there, we saw him peeing. And you know, they come up, it's like, you guys saw me peeing? That's physically impossible because I have a micro penis. There's no way you can clock me from that far. And I feel like that's something the cops like aren't gonna call you out on either. They're like, all right, let's see it, dude. They're like, yeah, sorry about your luck, moving on. This dude's not peeing. What else we got going on? Oh, I just adopted a dog. You guys can clap for that. Like right in with the K names in the family. The last dog I had was also a little pit bull, and her name was Isis. I named her before the terrorist group and but like just out of principle, I didn't change her name because then the terrorists would win. But it did get me in trouble a couple times. I was like on the phone and we're down at the dog park. I'm like, yep, I'm just down here training with Isis. So it's like, yeah, we're hitting the monkey bars, ropes course. And I'm like, all right, I gotta go. Isis is about to drop a bomb. It's gonna be a mess. We gotta clean this shit up. But I've been hanging out with this girl, and she's been training her dog with those little dog buttons. Have you guys seen these? Yeah, it's cool. It's like they'll associate different words with whatever the button says. It'll be like play or go outside or like treat. I've seen the buttons where it'll be like treat, bitch. It's like, man, these dogs are mean. But yeah, so she likes the dog more than she likes me, so she hasn't really been paying a whole lot of attention to me. So I think I'm gonna buy me some of them dog buttons. I looked at Amazon, they're kind of expensive, so I can only afford like 3 of them. So I bought sex, please, and bitch. Like, sex, please, bitch. I figure if I spam them long enough, eventually I'll get a sweet little treat. Yeah, it actually worked. She actually stopped talking to me, so my dog buttons for your girlfriend. So yeah, that makes sense. Like back out dating, and I was on a date with this girl recently, and I could tell it wasn't going good. It's like, man, we're probably not gonna see each other again. And she goes, yeah, I'll just pay for the bill. I go, no, let me like Venmo you for at least half of it. So I sent her $50 on Venmo. And I don't know if you guys do this, you gotta like label your Venmo transactions. Usually I'll do something cute, like a strawberry or a piece of pizza. I was like, I'm funny, I'm gonna fuck with her a little bit. So I sent her $50 and I labeled it butt stuff. I don't know if you guys do this, but your friends and family can see your Venmo transactions. Catholic priest, so I think he was actually okay with the butt stuff. So when I was in high school, I was friends with, like the stoners and the jocks. The only ones I didn't really get along with were the kids with the Confederate flags on their trucks. Because historically, those guys are losers. But there's this one kid we used to bully, and it's like we heard that he got a hand job on the bus. And we're like, dude, that's fucking sweet. You got a hand job? First one to get one. And then the girl comes out, she goes, no, I didn't get my hand job. I just touched his penis and he ejaculated immediately. Yeah, so we started calling it one touch. So it's like, oh, what's up, one touch? It's like, oh, don't touch it, you fucking might come his pants. But so yeah, this kid just popped up on my Facebook friends like recently. And I was like, oh, I'll see what he's up to. So he moved to California and now he's a porn star. Yeah, believe it or not. But he went the exact opposite way of one touch. He just was like semen retention. So yeah, so just like for research purposes, I watched, a couple hours of it. Yeah, dude, the kid never comes. Yeah. So bully your kids, maybe they'll be a porn star. I'll leave you guys on this one. Anybody get like any tattoos that they didn't like, they got covered? No, just I'm the only loser? Okay. So I had a base nectar tattoo. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He got accused of grooming young women. Man, I can't show up to heaven with a base nectar tattoo. So I got it covered. I'll just show it to you guys real quick. I don't know if you can tell, it's Predator. Yeah, so I went from child predator to adult predator. I didn't really think that one for you guys. Alright, my name's Chris. You guys are good.
Hey, Spectrum Bowling Lanes, how are you tonight? It is great to be here at Spectrum Bowling Lanes in the great city of Wyoming, in the great state of Michigan, which is hopefully Ontario's 11th province coming up real soon. Glad to see this is one of the biggest crowds ever here at Sunday Night Funnies. So we're going to call this crowd the Big Beautiful Crowd. Numbers don't lie. Statistics do. So, got a couple of shout outs to people here tonight. I see my eye doctor's here. Yay! And my biggest critic is here, and my biggest supporter is here. That would be my wife. I met my wife in Indiana. I was living in a small town, and small town Indiana is a lot different than a lot of other small places. And we were in our 40s, and we decided to move in with each other like the next day after we met for some reason. And some lady in town went to the town commissioners and wanted to know if the cohabitancy laws were still in the book. You know what that means? She didn't want two 40-year-old people living together that weren't married. True story. Her house burned down 3 months later because her son was making meth. Population at the town was 906, and it never changed according to Dick the Barber. Once a woman got knocked up, a man left. Their favorite holiday in that town was Halloween. They could legally pumpkin that day. Ooh, I know. That's male masculinity at its finest, isn't it? But speaking of male masculinity, when did it become wearing orange makeup, a pompadour haircut, wearing high heels, putting heel lifts in, and wearing an adult diaper? That's what male masculinity has become today? Do we know who I'm talking about? No. So, my notes because I did wake up handcuffed to a hospital bed once, not knowing how I got there. And I had a near-death experience. I had been dead for 4.5 minutes, so I do have some cognitive disability, so please forgive me on that. Yeah, so I was thinking colleges. The president's got to have favorite colleges. You take John Kennedy, the war hero, Navy sailor, I think Navy would be his favorite college. You take Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, Clinton's favorite college has to be Morehead State. Take Donald Trump, the Epstein files. It's got to be, we don't care how you bring them, but bring them young. So I got some questions from the audience before I came up. This one is from Deuce Deuce. Deuce Deuce wants to know if it's wrong if I can Dutch oven myself. I think not, Deuce Deuce. I think it's okay. It's always good to sniff your own. This one is from Evan in East Lansing. Evan in East Lansing wants to know if it's wrong for a man to get a rose tattoo on his bikini line. Evan? No, unless you want to have bad memories of your ex the rest of your life. Because I decided to get matching tattoos before you did anything stupid. Keith from Grand Rapids. Keith from Grand Rapids wants to know if it's wrong for two men to ride naked on an exercise bike or rubbing baby oil on each other. I think not, Keith. I call that male bonding. So I recently turned 60. I know, I mean, I'm a fashion statement tonight. Look at my fashion statement. I'm accessorizing, is what they call it. I got a purple belt, purple shirt, purple shoes. My earrings match my glasses. And my socks match my underwear. So now that I turned 60, yeah, I know. Now that I turned 60, I sound a lot like my dad did. Somebody rides by me, if they has music on, it's turn that shit down. Morning Wood is like Blockbuster Video. A thing of the past. And my dick and I still do play dick games. It's just not whack-a-mole anymore. It's hide and seek. So my big, beautiful crowd, I'll leave you on this. Things that make me happy are watching black people bowl. They take those big black balls of theirs, roll them down that alley, and splatter them white pins with red necks all over the place. Things that don't make me happy is if you don't vote for me in the ninth place contest. So everybody have a great night. Give it up to Brian Lee. You've been a big, beautiful crowd.
What did we do here, Brian? Alright. I have an older sister, and people always say that me and her, we look a lot alike. Now, me being the less hot sister, I take it as a compliment. She takes it as more of an insult. What she won't admit to, though, is that anytime someone does call us twins, she will hold a grudge against that person for a solid 2 weeks after the fact. So we find ourselves right now in a very interesting situation, because she's currently trying to give her phone the silent treatment after I opened it last week using Face ID. chooses a new kind of food every year, that it's going to stop digesting properly. And cheese was first to go, and at this rate, guys, I don't even know if I want to make it to 40. At my last birthday party, I had friends singing me, "We hope you live to be 100," and I was like, you shut your mouth! No gluten-free cake for you. Another thing about getting older, I feel like sleep gets a little bit harder. You know, when I was at the doctor the other day and I was describing how I've been sleeping, and I realized I was describing it, I realized that I sleep exactly like a rotisserie chicken. Exactly. Because, I mean, I'm tossing and turning all night, but only ever in one direction. I get all hot and sweaty, and then when I wake up, I leave my bed feeling so tender all over my body. Yeah. And I was talking to my doctor, and I was like, do you think this is why people try to pick me up and put me in their carts at Costco? Like, excuse me, sir. This is more than $5. But I always check and see what's in their cart, you know, because if I see a couple bottles of red, the Nutella, and that 30-pack of mac and cheese, onward, my Costco king. Yeah, I love Costco. I do. But I will say, once I got that Costco card, I lost a little bit of faith in humanity. Because dark sides come out to play at Costco. And it starts in that parking lot. It's the scariest place. I fear for my life in that parking lot. People are zooming in and out. But worst of all is how people conduct themselves when those sample stations are open. People's dignities go right out the window. The other day, I saw this woman pull over an 8-year-old to get to her Swedish meatballs. And then she got to the front of the line, took 5 samples, and ran away. This is wrong. One thing about Costco, though, is they don't have a lot of trash cans, right? So I was at the checkout lane, checking out, and I was trying to figure out where to get rid of these 5 meatball wrappers I acquired. Yeah, I think I need to forego my membership, guys. I'm ashamed. I've had a lot of car issues recently. So last week I took it into the shop, which means for the first time ever, I had to borrow my husband's Ford F-150 lifted truck monstrosity. And it's the kind that sounds angry all the time. And I wasn't looking forward to driving in it, not only because you can't hear any music that we play because it's so loud, but also because I just think it's embarrassing when the car you drive around you need a running start to get up into. It makes parking a challenge, and I will admit my success rate is not 100%. But I'm driving this car around town, and aside from the parking situation, it honestly hasn't been so bad. And driving it around, I realized that I feel something I've never felt before. And that is respect. Oh my gosh, I get respect when I'm behind the wheel of that truck. I have never known what that's like. Yeah, it's amazing. No one's cutting me off. No one's, giving me the finger. At least I can't see if they're giving me the finger because I'm sitting up in a whole different elevation. It's amazing, guys. I was drunk on the power. I realized driving a tiny little car around has kept me humble all of these years. I felt like Simba on Pride Rock. Because my visibility was amazing. And also because everything my headlights touched was my kingdom. Yeah. It's sad because I'm back to driving my small, tiny little car around town. The only problem is, though, is I'm driving it with big truck energy still. And I'm pretty sure it's going to get me murdered soon. So I want everyone to know, on my headstone, I want my greatest life achievement. which is I opened my sister's phone using Face ID. Give it up for Brian.
I really feel that one ad on Pornhub is really way too judgmental. Let's talk about that. And we all know what ad I'm talking about. You won't last 30 seconds in this ad. 30 seconds? That's nothing, right? 30 seconds. It's like, what the hell do you have behind that paywall that I'm not going to last 30 seconds? Is it my high school secretary, Miss Salvatore, that one day that she wore a blouse that was a little too thin and the wind hit just right and I had a sexual awakening? I didn't last 30 seconds for that. But fucking Mars blowing quagmire, I think I can handle it. I think I'll be okay. But then, like, what if the marketing works on you, sir? Like, what if the marketing works, you know? You get that stuck in your head, you're like, 30 seconds? That's fucking nothing, 30 seconds, you know? And you drive home, you're like, 30 seconds, you know? You go to your wife, you guys eat dinner. You're like, babe, I last longer than 30 seconds, right? And she's like, yeah, what are you talking about? Nothing, fettuccine is amazing. You know, you and then you guys go to bed, you start to get a little intimate, and you come in 29.9 seconds, and your wife just looks at you and starts laughing like, we told you you wouldn't last 30 seconds with this game. And then you take off the VR headset, you're in the middle of a Dave and Buster's, you know what I mean? You call that movie Total Recall 3. I think it's going to be on Netflix this week. I'm single, I'm doing the dating thing. With anybody else single out there? With the same people, let me hear it. Cool. Right, just sad as shit. Y'all ain't fucking ass parents. It's clear. Where the married people at? Let me hear it for the married people. Yeah, how long y'all been married? 29 years. Give it up for that. That's dope as shit. Maybe y'all can help me out because, like, I'm dating, right? I like to date, but I'm worried to go into a relationship because you give up certain privileges going from dating into a relationship. Like married people, you guys remember the good old days when you could, you know, leave? Yeah. Remember that? Remember the power of a good leave? You know, they're being crazy. You're like, man, fuck this, I'm going home. You went to a completely different place, away from the crazy, you know? What do you do when you're married and they're getting on your nerves at night? You just roll over aggressively and make that fucking blanket border between the two of you like that? Do shit, you can still feel them staring at the back of your head like if I was dating this motherfucker, I'd go home right now. That's what I do. I fall in love, dude. I'm scared to fall in love. I am. I'm worried about falling in love. I've been in love before. I've been in love twice in my life. And I'm scared to fall in love now because I realize that's a strong thing. And if you don't think love is like crazy, let me put it to you like this. Nobody's ever killed anybody that they kind of like. Life is better than love at some point. Like, you'll help somebody move that you like. Like, you know what I mean? But someone you love, you'd be like, you wouldn't, if you love me, you wouldn't expect me to do this shit. Like, there's... It's true, man. I just want to be in life with somebody. Fuck that love shit. Like you still get spontaneous head when you like somebody. I like that shit, you know. And I know, y'all, married couples, you do long-term relationships, you're going to disagree with me, but I think the oral sex you get from both sides is way better when you're dating than that bullshit you get once you're in a relationship. You know? Because when you're dating somebody, it's just based on animal attraction. They're just fucking hot to you. Like, you could be at your girl's house with this date, you're getting ready to go, she's like, where are you going? You're going to work? Oh shit, come here, boy. All right, guys, if she's doing it right, it probably shouldn't sound like that. But another reason why I'm saying with a lot of weird sounding blowjobs, am I right? When you're dating, it becomes like obligatory, you know, like you gotta kind of do it, you know. You ever just try to get head from your girlfriend on a random Wednesday and she looks at you like you're a fucking monster? She's like, you want me to do what? He said, is it your birthday? It ain't your birthday. Is it our anniversary? It ain't none of that shit. I guess, man. Come on, give me a dick. Like, I don't ever want somebody to say that shit. Come on, man, give me a dick, and I'm not in prison. Like, I don't. Ask for my shit with love in your eyes. Don't. This is not a chore. This is a privilege you get. You guys are silly. I like dating. I think dating was way easier for our grandparents. You know, I'm 42. You know, and like everybody's like, I want that old school love, like grandma and granddad had that old school love. That shit was simple. Ladies, get that out of your head. Those days are done. Your grandma had it easy. Your grandma had to compete with the other reasonably hot chick that was within walking distance of the town. You know, like, she would let, you know, Janine let the boys go to second base. Like, that's all your grandma had to deal with. Some over-the-shirt tit play. That's what your grandma was up against. Ladies, you're up against the fucking world. The whole world. You know how easy it is for somebody to get a ticket, hop on a plane, go to Thailand, get themselves a quality lady boy these days? Your granddad had to go to war to get a lady boy. He couldn't even... You could just get him willy-nilly, you know? It's not fair, man. Or at the very least, you gotta compete with every girl in a 50-mile radius. How do I know 50 miles? Because that's what I got all my dating apps set to. I'll drive 50 miles for no. You know, I'll do it for that. Oh, man. So I'm trying to work out, trying to get hot, you know. And, okay, I'll address the elephant in the room, you know. People, I know you're looking at me. You're like, oh man, Ricardo's a big guy, you know, 6'4", dreadhead, you know. Ladies are looking at me. He's my protector. If something were to happen, he could save me. No, the fuck I can't. All I can do is identify exits in any room that I'm in really fast and get to them faster than you would expect a man my size to move. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna hold your hand and make a hole for you, you know. But the second I feel any resistance, you're on your own. You don't want to survive, is what I think. One of us has to tell the tale without